Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot and today we're going to talk about process, some whips that I've started here in January, and kind of February plans. So please stay tuned. Alright, so I think I'll start out with, and I guess I should have said, my done pieces for January. There's only two, because I just moved in to my new house. And I'm a little behind, trying to get the house up and going and all that. Oh, it's so hard, and I hate shopping, so that makes it even harder. I did one in Amazing Patterns. Oh gosh, I don't even know which one. I should have marked these. But while I have Amazing Patterns out, I want to show you. I feel like it's here in the beginning. Yes, it is. This is the one I did for January 2024. Can you believe it's 2024? Oh my gosh, time flies. All right. So one that I want to do in February, you'll all be shocked, but it's really the only time to do it because it's a heart. And if not now, when? So I guess I'm going to do that one. I have no plans, no idea on how I'm going to do that, but that is a goal, to do it in February and get the heart out of the way during the lovey-dovey month. So that's Amazing Patterns Zen Doodle. That's my black and white book, as y'all know. And in Amazing Patterns, I finished one, and this was based off of Jamie's Coloring Love, her Willy Wonka color scheme. Oh my gosh, and I love this one. Came out really good. It was kind of one of those that just took, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, I think. Maybe 2. I don't know. Can't remember. But I just kind of like got inspired and went with it. Those colors were good. I'm usually not a color scheme person, so it's kind of unusual. But I saw it on Instagram, and I'm like, not bad, not bad. So I gave it a try. Yeah, I really like this. I like this book. My other one that I did in here, I really liked too. This is Amazing Patterns by Coloring Book Kim. So it's on Amazon paper, in case you're wondering. So thank you, Jamie, for coming up with that wonderful color scheme. It was very inspiring for me. All right, on to kind of whips and processes. And this is inspired by Color by Maya. She was talking about her process. I can't remember what the video was titled. It might have been a Maya's coloring report or something like that. And I found that fascinating because process does fascinate me. When I taught very advanced art, like college level art at the high school level, we talked a lot about process and creativity and all those things that come after you've learned all the stuff you need to learn to kind of be creative and make art. So we delved into that stuff, a lot of it. So I find it fascinating. But Maya was saying, and it would be great if in the comments you kind of chimed in on like how you work and what you do. I guess Maya got a lot of comments about having whips and stuff like that. She's so cute. She was talking about her collection and what had whips in it and stuff. She's like, and I've got more than you. I've got over 100. I like, how cute is that? That would make me crazy. That would make me shut down. But I kind of do a similar thing. So yeah, pipe up in the comments and tell us like how you work and what you do. So I'm going to explain kind of how I work and why I don't really like to post on the monthly. I prefer to post on the bi-monthly or even maybe 3 months, because here's how I kind of work. So I'll show you them as I go along here. So I like to start a bunch of pages, generally. I kind of start a bunch all at once, and then once I kind of get that out of my system, I kind of finish them. So some whips I have, and these are left over from December. This is the Occult and Folklore book by Duchess of Lore. I'm still on my floor, as you can see. Someday my studio will be done. Someday. Fingers crossed. I started 2 in December and then got, rudely interrupted by moving. So I haven't really got back to it yet, but this book is so awesome. It's really good. And one of the things that I like to start with, 9 times out of 10, maybe even more than that, I do the backgrounds first. So this is just a wallpaper page. I'll spin it for you because there's lots of shiny goodness on it thus far. One of the things I do, because sometimes my mind, my headspace, especially with all this transition and moving stuff going on and being in a short-term housing situation in an apartment for 3 months and looking for houses and all that stuff, my mind was not in the space to like focus on creativity and have good ideas and stuff like that. So one of the things I do is just work on backgrounds, and you can, sometimes it's an artistic decision, but sometimes it's like, I feel I can only pick up one color and color with one color right now. So here, I did the background of this whip with one color, and then the back, of this section, not this whip, this section here, one color, and then a closely related color right here. And actually, I was looking at my Prismacolors, and what made me decide that, well, number one, it was based on Rococo wallpaper, I think it said. We'll never find it, but... And I Googled that, and I had some ideas. I was thinking dusty blue for some reason, and then, I don't know, sometimes I open my Prismacolors, and I'm like, oh, that color looks nice, we'll go with that. So, yeah, 2 closely related Prismacolors of colors that I hardly ever use. So I'm like, I want to use those. And those particular ones are still from, like, my 25, 30-year-old Prismacolors. And they still say Beryl and Sanford on them. So I'm like, we should use those. So, and by the way, I just want to say, because there's some people out there who say that their Prismacolors, the old style Prismacolors made in America or whatever, are better than the current Prismacolors. I disagree. I think the new Prismacolors are better. As they get older, they get drier and scratchier. And all of the problems with sharpening and having the lead not being centered, those, I remember having many problems with those 30 years ago, same problem. So it hasn't changed. I think people are just embellishing the past a little bit there. But that's just my 2 cents. You may disagree. So I think the new ones are better just because they're fresher and better. So, all right, so that is one whip that hopefully we can finish February or March, whenever we get to it. Whenever I get to it. There's no we here, just me. And here's another whip, same premise. I just fell in love with this book and I had to start 2 immediately. That often happens. Like I'll start 2 in a book for some reason. So I can kind of flip back and forth. And this is based on Madonna and Child. It's Madonna and Cat, I guess. Or Cat Lady and Cat. Whatever you want to say. And again, this was just kind of like one color coloring. It's also got shiny stuff on it. Because that's where my brain was overwhelmed with all the adulting I have had to do, you know, since moving to a new state. And getting housing and all that. So, yeah, I just, you know, I saw this in blue and I took it from there. Of course, I saw this as gold. You know, so I kind of took it from there. And it hasn't moved since I've moved into my new house. Since leaving the old apartment and moving into my new house. It's in the same exact space. But I tend to start a whole bunch, and then I tend to, like, once I guess I reach a peak, or I get out of, you know, maybe the coloring slump or something, I then start kind of doing all the whips, for the most part. And some sit around longer than others. Usually it's not too terribly long, a month or 2 or 3, maybe even 6 or 7. And it's not that common to have ones, but I have some from years ago, a year or so ago. So maybe even a year and a half ago. There's a couple, not very many to speak of though. So that's kind of my process. So we'll continue looking at some whips here. Another one that I started in, I think it was late January, mid-January, late January, I don't even know. This is a buddy color with Mindy. I had actually just started it and barely had anything on the page. But again, I was just doing the background because I'm like, oh, I can't focus on anything. So I'm just going to color a background. And then, of course, other ideas came to me as I was coloring the background, and kind of that's how it works. I get started on a background, and then that kind of dictates or inspires the rest of it in its own time, sort of thing. So yes, I was inspired to do these, and that's mostly Prismacolor. I'm kind of back to Prismacolor again because my shoulder isn't bothering me as much anymore. It's very much on the mend. Jelly rolls. I think there's a paint pen in there. Lots of Prismacolor though. I love the nice rainy day though. That is one for, hopefully I can finish that in February. And one that I want to do, I don't know where it was. I want to say it was in the back. Another one I want to do in February is this one. Because I'm not into hearts. As you know, I mostly hate hearts, but this is a tree. So we have conflicting interests here. But this one, the leaves are kind of shaped like hearts. So I'm thinking, oh, that would be very nice if those were kind of like reds and pinks, and that's pretty much going to dictate the rest of the thing. So I would hopefully like to do this one in February as well. That's kind of my 2 per book kind of thing, I guess. I kind of always seem to do that. All right, that's Color Yourself to Tranquility by Melissa Laney. Daydreams is kind of underway here. This is a group buddy color for January. This used to be a different book, and now we switched to Daydreams. We're currently voting on the March page, in case you want to join. I have not finished it yet, because I just was not in the headspace for that in January. It's like too much is going on. But this was fun because I did play with my new Graphitint paints. This is definitely Graphitint. This is Graphitint. Possibly the leaves that are kind of this yellowy green color are Graphitint too. I didn't realize that Graphitint had like a sheen to it. It's got like little sparklies in it. And this is like a gel crayon, and one of these might be markers, just water-based markers. But yeah, it's crinkled the book. I gotta set heavy books on it or something. Gotta iron it a little, but I really like the way the Graphitint are performing. They're nice. So I haven't finished that. My poor little cat, I haven't started his head yet. And he needs more coats on his body, but yeah. So it's underway. Yeah. And so we're currently voting on a picture for this book right now. I don't know. Maybe by the time this video airs, we might be done voting. We'll see how it goes. In February, this group buddy color, which was another book and now it's Fairy Tales. This group buddy color is, I've not started it yet, this is one. The bear holding the little baby bear. Do you think that's a polar bear? I think it's a polar bear, maybe. I don't know. So that's what we're doing in February. Hopefully I can start and finish that in February. We don't know. We'll see. So other whips that I have recently started at the end of January, I mostly didn't do anything from the first 3 weeks of January because, the aforementioned moving. In Garden Enchantments by Angelica. Oh my gosh. Scudamore. Garden Enchantments. I have started the little flower pot page. These are like flower pots with little, I don't know, like flower fairies or something. Again, this helps me by doing a background, and sometimes depending on how complicated how messed up my brain is at the time, I can just do one color. Sometimes I do multiple colors, but here I just wanted to do one color, a nice kind of bright, blue sky day. I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about this book in general. And then I also started the bee page. And here I was using, I think, just two colors, two Prismacolors here in the back, so it's kind of mottled. I looked at beehives or honeycombs to get a sense of the colors. And this part of the honeycomb is usually lighter. This part is usually darker with the honeycomb colors. And I've researched bees a little. I'm going to do blue. The blue bumblebees or the blue honeybees. I don't know what they are. That are, I think, native to Florida or something like that. There's also a blue bee in Australia. Or maybe it's a peacock bee. So it might be more peacocky colors. But anyways, I'm looking forward to that too. So my brain is starting to calm down as I've done all this, you know, kind of meditating here with the backgrounds. And the last one that I've got going is the giant squid page here. Again, this is multiple colors. These are reds that I never use. It's probably shiny. It's going to probably be some wax bloom on this paper, but I researched what color giant squids were. They weren't a particular color that I was interested in doing. And so I was looking through my pencil box and I'm like, oh, red, I want to do the background red. So that's what we do. And now I don't know what I'm going to do these yet, but we'll figure it out when the time comes. Another one I'm probably going to start in this book at the same time is this one here. I forget what these are called, but they're kind of dusty browns, and the leaves here were kind of dusty green leaves. Kind of dry, arid plants and, you know, African-looking animals. But I was envisioning maybe the sky in some very bright colors to make the dusty focal points pop a bit. But we'll see if I start that one. So those are kind of like, I wrapped a bunch of stuff up at the end of December, during December and the end of December, what I could. And so now I'm kind of back to the 2 or 3 month kind of process, the way I work, of starting a whole bunch, and then, you know, come the end of February or March, I'll be wrapping a lot of these up as well. So that is kind of how I work. I'm going to do one here in SpongeBob. We're doing Picasso SpongeBob. Where's Picasso? He's cubist. If we can find, these are funny. Some of these are based on like famous art pieces, or famous artist styles. So we got Picasso SpongeBob here because he's messed up like a Picasso face. I think there's the Botticelli one where he's naked. That's so funny. This is a good book. This is SpongeBob's Very Grown-Up Coloring Book. All the links will be down below. And I just dragged this one out the other day because, way back when I was still in Arizona, there's a page I want to alter here based on a famous movie. That one, I don't want to give too much away because it's interesting. So I said that before, oh my gosh, like half a year ago almost now. But yeah, then it got packed away and then it was in storage, and you know how the moving thing goes. So there's that. So that's a little bit of a look into my process. Like, I start a bunch and then I do them. A little bit different from the way Maya does. But yeah, like, let us know how you, like, what's your process. I know many people out there say they have to start a page and finish a page. I get that. I totally get that. I was more like that towards the beginning when I was coloring. I would only have 2 or 3 on the go, and we had to finish those pages. But now I've like expanded it to more pages and then kind of wrap it up. That's why I do finished pages kind of on the bi-monthly or tri-monthly, whatever works at the time. So that is about it. I hope you all are going to have a wonderful February. I will talk to you next time. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.